Okay, before we have a break, we do have a break, okay? So let me just give you some head start on the another big topics for managing your business is inventory, okay? So like I told you before, if you're starting up with a small business, I think accounting software or the sales module and POS purchase sufficient. But then once your business grow, you might want to check your inventory because that's probably the source of loss in your system. And a lot of, like when things are out of stock and you cannot produce things fast enough for your customer, usually that's because inventory management is lacking, right? So this one is primary, like when I talk to like businesses, I've talked to more than 30 businesses already within like a year or so of doing the project with the government. I think 9 out of 10 businesses need inventory tracking software. And that's not what they get when they start with the accounting software. So that's most of the pain points. Okay, so ERP Next is nice because you can start with accounting first, and then once you're ready, you move on to inventory. But actually, like without actually using the inventory module, you kind of use inventory already, right? Because remember, like you were checking the stock, right? That before we actually do the POS. So inventory is already built into the software by its heart. Okay, so we're gonna do first add new items. Okay. All right, so you have done this before, but let me just show you more details on what can you customize. Okay. So inventory module goes into stock, okay? And the things that you want to take a look at is the item, right? So this one is what you're going to buy, what you're going to sell, or anything internal, you can put it here, all right? So let's just create a couple more things that you want to buy or sell, okay? I guess for my example, I want to create, I don't know, like I have pen, right? I want to do like eraser or things like that, right? So let's go to the full form right now because we're going to look into more options, okay? First is the item code. So I guess before I never mentioned this, but when you have a more complex system, you might want to separate between code and name. So code is something like ER001, something like that. That's a code, right? But the name might be something even in Thai, like Yang Lop or eraser, right? And the way that I mean, the benefits of this is that you can come up with things, for example, like if you have like different type of eraser, right? You might have a name that is more descriptive, but it's long. But then you can have item code that actually makes sense in your organized system. And if you are comfortable with your item code, you are going to be very fast. Like if you go to the retail store, like the one that's more manual, that doesn't have any barcode, there might be some cashier who actually remember all the item code and they're really fast. Like I encountered that store multiple times and I'm amazed. But this is something that you should, I guess, come up with it right at the beginning. Like what should be the item code that makes sense and more, I guess, scalable in the future, okay? So I'm gonna do something a little bit more like, a little bit more like real things like ER001, and this is for, maybe I'll do item 001, and this one is called eraser, okay? And then item groups, okay, so these are the default, I guess the predefined item groups, but you can certainly add more item groups. So this is more like the filtering. Remember the POS? You can also POS with just the product so that you don't have to do service, right? If you place things in the right item groups. So I'm going to say this one is still the products, okay? And also, you never changed this before. This is the unit of measure. So NOS is number. So for example, eraser, fine, numbers, okay. But if you find yourself selling things in packs, for example, you can also do packs. Nope, dozen. Nope, kilo. Something like that. So these are the unit of measure, like something that makes sense to what you're selling, right? So I'm gonna pick numbers for now, but actually there are much more. Okay, let me show you where it is if you wanna set more. shall we? So I'm gonna open this in my new tab and go to the desk, right? If I go to stock and go to units of measure, right here. So there is, I guess, a menu called the units of measure. And these are the predefined ones. I think there's a lot, like more than, I don't know, 100, or actually not 100, but quite a number. So right off the bat, you should have something to work on. But if you want more, you can add more. For example, like you can add things in Thai, like ชิ้น อะไรได้หมดเลยนะครับ okay? So something like that, right? So I'm going to pick this one for now. And usually the one that you might want to pay attention is this one, maintain stock. So if you tick this one, that means that you're going to track the number of things in your inventory. But if you untick this one, that means that this one, you don't care about the number. For example, service, you don't maintain stocks. Or if something is very hard to measure, like for example, if you have a drinking factory, like you fill the drinks and you get water from the water tap. Maybe water you don't need to maintain because you can always open the tap and get it from the government system or something, right? So think about it, right? So I'm going to maintain stock for now, right? And usually if you're starting your customizing your software, you can also have opening stock. So right off the bat, I might have maybe 100 eraser in my stock just for, just opening, right? Valuation rates is the price, the cost of your goods. For example, if I open with 100 pieces in my stocks and I bought it for, I don't know, 10 baht each, so I might just do it here, okay? Valuation rates, okay? So you need, so one thing that I'm gonna mention a lot is that once you go to the stock module, the nice thing about this is that it starts to track the cost of your inventory. For example, like right off the bat, you have to tell the system like how much you bought this for. And as we go through some of the more elaborate examples, you're gonna see that this cost can change based on multiple factors. And that's something that business owner actually cares about, like how much do my inventory cost overall, okay? And these are the standard selling rates. Oh, sorry? I don't see the opening stock. Oh, you don't? Have you ticked the maintain stock yet? Yes? Okay.
I only see valuation rate.
That's strange.
Maybe.
Can you start again? Oh, because you already saved it. Hey, wait, you not saved it? Can you start new item and show me if and go to. Usually you have opening stock. I think if you press save, it yeah, it. I think so. Let's try. So you click here, action, and delete. No, sorry, the other one. But I have a feeling that you might not be able to, but let's try. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. Okay. All right, so and then standard selling rate is the selling price. So I might want to sell it for 15 baht. Okay, something like that. Okay, and we'll come back to this a little bit more because there are many tabs that you can use. Essentially a lot, right? So let's keep things simple. So saved. Okay. And I think right off the bat, I should be able to see my stock and see that I also have erasers, okay? So I'm gonna go to, so usually I might have two tabs open just for quicker navigation. I'm gonna do stock summary, okay? And there you go, I have erasers in my, I guess in my stocks, all right? So why don't we create maybe just a couple more so that we can have more things to work with from now on. So I'm going to create one more. Okay, let's just create two more items for me, and with some opening stocks value, amount, shall we? So I'm going to do I don't know, item 002, and then I don't know, pencil. I'm going to do pencil, right? And this is going to be this is pencil. Groups, products, and I'm going to have 200 for 8 baht I'm selling it for 14 something. Okay, and if I were to refresh my stock summary, I should be able to get more things in my. So as I was saying, like in your project, what you need to customize first is actually item, right? If you're selling something, you probably want to put this information into the systems. That's what I mean about customization of this software. Customization of the software. Okay, so now I have a couple items in my inventories. Okay, so let me just point you to some important inner working of this. Is that like when you go to any of the items, you can go to dashboard, right? This one is pretty good because it gives you kind of overview of what this product, like what information is pertaining to this product. So right now it has item price because I just enter it, right? And it can have, one product can have multiple item price. And there's a stock level. So this one is in the store. So if you move this thing around, this one will get updated too. And as you can see that there are many things in the system that kind of link to the item itself. So this one kind of gives you a really nice navigation. Another thing is that once you go into inventories, you should be able to see something called the stock ledger. Okay? When you're in accounting, right, you get something called ledger. Ledger is like book bank. You see the accounting transaction. When you're in inventory module, there's something called stock ledger. It's the same thing. It's a movement of goods in your inventory. It's a transaction, right? So for example, when I say I have the opening stock of 200 pieces, that means that something goes into my system. So that's why this is the in quantity. Like if you deliver something, then there will be out quantity. And then there will always be balance that you can check to regarding your items. And the thing that I want you to take a notice is actually this one, valuation rate. So keep an eye on this one, valuation rate. So as we do more transaction in terms of stocks, you're going to see that this is a very useful value to keep track of as the business owner. This one tells you how much is your stock, how much does your stock cost, for example. Okay? All right, so that's it for the first module. Okay, let me do one more things, and then you may go to take some breaks. Okay. Okay. Here's the thing. If I go to my stock summary, I have 3 things, right? But what if I want more, right? I want more eraser, for example. But if I were to go to my item, there is actually, as Dominic just mentioned, like my opening stock's gone, right? So how do I get more eraser, right? And that is something that you can do very easily. There is a document called the stock entry, okay? I'm going to stock and then stock entry right here. Or you can also here too. You can type it in your search bar to stock entry. You're going to be using this one quite a lot. This one is very useful. It's almost like journal entry in accounting. This one is stock entry. And as you can see, that's actually already the stock entry, because when you say you have opening stock, that means it already brings in the stock for you. But you can add more. Okay, so let's add more. Okay, so this one tells you, I guess this one gives you ability to create something. For example, there are many ways that you can interact with your stock ledger. For example, I want to add more stuff. I'm going to do material receipt. Okay, so material receipt mean you get more things into your inventories, okay? And I guess you can look at the default, but we'll just skip one for now. Right here, what do you want to bring in? For example, I want to bring in eraser, so I can just type item 001, something like that. And where do I want to put the item in? So this, you have a choice. For example, if you want to put in the store, you may, but you can also put eraser somewhere else. And you can even add more things to put it in. So let me just show you, maybe one is enough for now, right? So I want to put eraser into the warehouse called store, right? But pay attention to where, to the directions, because you are bringing your item in. So that's why it's called the target warehouse. This source warehouse doesn't really do anything. Like if you even put something in here, doesn't really matter. But it will matter on the other directions where you put things out. So when you have material receipt, what's matter is the target warehouse. It's got to be something non-zero, okay? And you're going to put things in. For example, maybe I'll put in 60 pieces of erasers, right? And here, you have the opportunity to tell the system what is your price, what's the cost of your new batch of eraser. Remember, when I say opening stocks, like I say the valuation rate is 10 baht. That's why it's putting it here. That's get recorded in the system. But maybe the next stock, the next batch that comes in doesn't cost 10 baht. Maybe it costs 11 baht. So I'm going to put the valuation rate in here. 11. Like that. You can. And you should. You should keep track of how much you bought things for, because that's important to the cost of your inventories, okay? All right. Without anything more, you can save, okay? And you may submit it. Just like that. Okay? And the change in the stock is quite interesting, because if you were to go to the top and then you go to view, there are actually two things happening. Always two things happening when you do stocks. There are account, like when you change your stock, something happened to your accounting too, and something happened to your stock ledger. So there's always two things that run in parallels. And this is where the flexibility comes in. Like in most of the software, like for example, if you do accounting software, they don't have stock ledger. They only have accounting ledger. And that's why I think most of the businesses found the problem, like when they want to track stock in the accounting software, it doesn't work because this doesn't give them enough flexibility. So let's check out what happened in our stock ledger. Okay, I want to go here. And as you might expect, right, we are bringing in eraser, 60 pieces of erasers, and which I guess I put in 11 baht each, right? So the incoming rate is 11, right? But as you can see that if I go to the kind of almost the end, you can see that there are valuation rate in here, right here. So you see this guy here? That's, wait, what? No, I want the, actually, I skipped too fast. Oh, actually, probably right here. It's 10.38, okay? But let me show you this later. But this is the stock transaction, right? But if I were to go back, and if I do view, and then do the accounting ledger, there's also affecting the accounting too, because when you bring in the stock, right, something has to change. What is changed is that your stock goes up, right? But then there is also the stock adjustment. I think this one is the, I'm not sure, I don't remember the top of my head, but this one probably sell or expense, something along that line, that needs to go down. So that's what happened in the accounting ledgers too, okay? Okay, so right now I have 2 batches of eraser, but then if I want to see like the overall summary of my stock, this is my favorite place. It's called stock balance, right here. Report stock balance. This is my, I guess this is my go-to place to show the business owner like the power of this thing. So we're gonna go to stock balance, okay? And usually you have to generate the reports, okay? And it's gonna give you kind of like the overall report of your stocks. For example, if I look in my erasers, you can see that right now I have how much? I have 160 pieces, right? And then the whole thing costs, you know, like 1,660 baht. But the nice thing about this is that I can go to here, the valuation rate. So I know now that my eraser actually cost 10.38 baht, right? Overall, from, you know, from whatever I purchased so far. And actually this number doesn't even come only from the purchase price. It also can come from expense. If you purchase things and then you say you have to hire somebody to carry it, actually that cost can be factored into the valuation rate too. And I might show you later. But this one is actually very, very powerful, like in this system, because it actually shows you how much your stuff costs. Okay, I cannot stress this enough, but this one, pretty cool, okay? If you, I guess if you enter the information correctly, right? If you don't do it correctly, then everything's off. Okay, okay, let me just pause it for now. Maybe you'll get a couple, you know, like 5 to 10 minutes break. I'll come back later, we'll continue.